Oh, 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 the tab, the tab, the tab, the tab. Peace, 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 peace. Attempt. Do I attempt?
Which greetings. So we're now returning to the text after we did a discussion on the problems that were faced and are currently being faced by the ancient Egyptian mystical philosophy. So now we'll continue, and we're now into chapter 3 of the 5 chapters of Amicus's Abamun's discussion on ancient Egyptian theology, religion. Recall he started out this series of conveyances talking about the importance of symbols. And he further discussed the symbol of the divine in the boat. And the boat is one of the most prevalent and important symbols in ancient Kemetic philosophy. And it depends upon what text you're looking at, determines the context in which the boat is to be uh, interpreted, or the insights of the boat are drawn out, depend upon the context. So, for example, in the Amdua text, you have many boats, which are actually manifestations of one boat. And the principle in the boat changes, and and the boat changes, and that has to do with certain metaphysical processes. You know, we're not going to talk about here. And and now we're discussing, we're going to go forward into chapter 3. And keep in mind the discussion of the theology. Uh, when we reached the boat, I brought out the conditions in which this kind of what discourse is occurring, the context and the time in which it was occurring. So we'll continue. Since, however, every part of the heavens, every sign of the zodiac, all the motion of the heavens, every period of time according to which the world is moved, and all things contained in the wholes of the universe, receive the powers which descend from the sun, some of which are complicated with these wholes, but others transcend a commixture with them. The symbolical mode of signification represents these also, indicating that the sun is diversified according to the signs of the zodiac, and at every hour he changes his form. At the same time, also, it indicates his immutable, stable, never failing, and at once collected communication of good to the whole world. But since the recipients of the impartible gift of the God are variously affected towards it and receive multiform powers from the sun according to their peculiar motions, hence the symbolical doctrine evinces through the multitude of the gifts that the God is one and exhibits his one, however, through multiform powers. So we'll stop there for now. So he moves from, he transitions from talking about the boat, which has a solar implication, to the zodiacs and how the what they were referring to as zodiac, or the interpretation of zodiac, refers to the powers of the universe as they manifest through time. And what he's referring to as motions of the heavens is the change of the star system positions in the sky with the rotation of the earth through the 365 days and the precession of the earth through the zodiacs every 1,249 years or something like that. And so he is relaying the significance of the cosmic environment in relation to the position of the stars in the sky. And he's relaying that these changes that occur in with the precession of the equinoxes and the rotational position of the stars, especially the never-setting stars, the Akamseku, the power for that change in the zodiacal process comes from the sun. But there's a sort of a misinterpretation. He's not talking about the sun itself. He's talking about the essence, the power behind the sun. So the spirit that manifests as the sun is the mover of the universe. So in other words, the divine is doing the work. Meaning the divine energy is what is moving and changing, and the divine energy template in time is what is the essential cause behind the seemingly changes in the universe. So for example, we just had a lunar eclipse. Well, what caused that? Is it by chance? Is it by happenstance? And so the answer that he is given is that it is something, a power behind the manifestation that is the movement of what is referred to as the holes, which are the zodiacal symbols. And that there are two aspects to this. The one aspect is those star systems that are energetically infused with the subtle energy of what moves the universe. The dark matter. And the other is that which transcends this kind of entanglement, or what he's referred to as a commixture. And so he's referring to you have the physical universe and you have a subtle universe. And so the subtle universe transcends the physical universe. And the subtle universe is what may be experienced by some in a conscious, aware state, through the act of meditation. But meaning years and years of practice of meditation to reach a certain level just doesn't happen just by closing your eyes and saying a few chants. It takes a lot of work and meditating in a particular way through a certain process. And the explanation of that is, outside the realm of this short discussion, but it can be seen in the in certain texts. I'm not going to talk about right now. So there's the manifested universe, which is entangled with the subtle energy of the physical universe. And what I mean by that is that the star systems are entangled with the subtle energy, the dark matter of the physical universe. And then there's a universe that transcends even dark matter. And that relates to a subtle aspect of the mind. And here, I'll stop share and reshare to show something. This is a photo of the ancient Kemetic zodiac. So there are two types of ancient Egyptian zodiac. There are actually three, but I'm going to focus on the two that is relating to the Temple of Dendera. The first one is a rectangular zodiac, and what Ab Amon is referring to in this discourse is more of the circular zodiac, and that's what I have here. And this is the original zodiac in the Louvre Museum. I went here a few years ago, took this picture. This zodiac was taken out of the temple. Remember, we were talking about desecrations of temples, and this is all a part of it. This was taken out of the Dendera temple, which is dedicated to goddess Heteru, and brought to the Louvre Museum. And the reason why the photo is on this angle is because where they have it stored is very close to the ground. So you can't get a good photo of it because it's very low. But I do have better photos. And so when you go to the temple of Heteru at Dendera today, and you go into the room where there is the circular zodiac. That is a copy, actually. That is not the original. This, however, is the original that was taken out of the temple and brought to the museum. And I'm going to zoom in a little. And you can see how the zodiac is arranged in a circle. And you can see these divinities. So here, in the center circle, so you have three concentric circles, but we're going to focus on two main ones. So the inner circle, and you have all of these elements. These are the zodiacs, the symbols of what is referred to as zodiacs. But keep in mind, too, the ancient Kemetic mind, these are not simply zodiacs. These are energies and powers. They're forces of the universe. And some of these zodiacs, what are referred to as zodiacs, were used for spiritual practices. For example, this is what the three great pyramids on the Giza Plateau use some of these energies and forces. The Sphinx monument is aligned to a certain the zodiac of of Leo at a certain particular time in temporal history. And so these, and then you have the other temples that utilize these forces and energies. And the utilization of these forces and energies in the temple system relates to the process of the soul, and that's referred to as theurgy. It's a technical term for it. And then notice that the zodiac is being held up by these divinities. And so these are the holes. These are the holes, and these are the forces and the energies that the what is referring to as the sun, which I think is a kind of a loose translation. It's not really the sun. Is the power behind the sun manifesting as these forces that arrange and operate the universe. And so these are cosmic forces that are entangled with the zodiacal systems that are as if the machine behind the motion of the precession of the equinoxes and the changes of the zodiac and their appearance in the sky during the 365-day year. So they produce the equinoxes and the solstices, etc. So basically that's what Ab Amon is referring to. So now I'm going to stop share. Well, one thing before I stop share. This process actually also for certain spiritual practitioners, some spiritual exercises that can be done, this process actually also can be operative in you, in the mind, if you do certain things that we're not going to talk about now. But the point is that this is not a zodiac for a zodiac's sake to say, oh, we have a zodiac and here it looks nice and so forth. This is a cosmic machine for the mind. That's what it's about. So I'm going to stop share. We share and go back to the text. So transcendent commixture. So we're going to go down here. At the same time also, it indicates his immutable, stable, never failing, and at once collected communication of good to the whole world. So what he's saying here is that although there is motion in the universe and there is a mystic participation, a mystic cosmic communication that causes this rotational process of what we refer to as the universe. That motion is an appearance that is being supported by a transcendental reality that does not change. So the changes that are apparent to the senses are a manifestation of an immutable reality that transcends the process of change and diversification in the universe. And that transcendental immutable reality is what is discovered if the zodiac becomes the machinery operation of your mind that leads you to that transcendental reality from which that zodiacal system manifests from. So so you, the spiritual practitioner, can enter a mystic union with the process of the universe that therefore leads to a transcendental reality if you if you're doing it right with the, as we were talking about earlier in these discussions, if you apply the henotheistic model to the process, you are led to a transcendental reality. And you are led to that transcendental reality. And what I mean by that is that you become absorbed in that transcendental reality. And when that happens, you gain supernal insight into the nature of things and events. So it's not just, looking at the zodiac or reading something in a newspaper. Those are exoteric methods. The esoteric method is what is going on in the mind through a certain metaphysical process that is passed on from the hierophants, the priests and priestesses, to the aspirants, the spiritual practitioners. Okay, so that will be enough for today, and we'll come back and we'll do more with this, and we'll complete it next time. So dua everyone, and dua for joining. Until we meet again, Hetep.
Entail.